Hey guys, Weekend Game Guy here, and it's time again for another edition of Hey Chris, What You Playing? And I realize I've kind of been on hiatus and you haven't seen me play any games for a while. And if I'm not mistaken, the last edition I didn't even play a game at all. I just fixed my Nintendo. Well, I was sick of it blinking and, well, that's solved. Ever since I fixed it, I've been playing it pretty much non-stop. So, being that it's May and my birthday's in May, I got to thinking about birthday presents. And when I was a kid, one of the best birthday presents I ever got was my Nintendo. So I figured I would devote this entire month to playing nothing but the original Nintendo games. So I've pulled some random ones out of my collection and thought I'd give them a shot. Tonight I took a look at a game by a company that gets kind of a bum rap, LJN. Now I say bum rap, but in a lot of ways they actually deserve it. But LJN did produce some pretty decent titles, and I'm playing one that I actually like. And tonight I figured I'd take a look at The Punisher for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Sit back and enjoy. Alright, so here we are, and we are playing The Punisher as released by LJN in 1990. This is it's a rail shooter game, and it's one of the few rail shooter games actually released on the NES. I'm gonna do this guy. Looks fun. Yep. Alright, so Jigsaw. You know, LJN kind of catches a bum rap, but in all honesty, this is one of I think this is a pretty decent game. Honestly, I think it's probably one of the better LJN titles. Like I said earlier, it is one of the few rail shooters on the NES, which I think's, you know, a nice standout. That came up too fast. Wow, they're really hard to see. I don't know how they expect you to read that newspaper and deal with what's going on the screen at the same time, because it's literally up there for seconds. So I like the audio on the game. I like the way the gun sounds and stuff like that. But the lack of music, I think, gets on my nerves a little bit. I don't know. Not that it has to have music, but sometimes that's a nice touch, you know, to have something going on in the background. I don't know. I feel kind of I don't know, bored almost with that. I'm gonna check out some of the other levels, but right now, I mean, the graphics. I'm gonna try to check out some other levels, but so far the graphics on this level just seem like, I don't know, a mishmash mess of just the same color, like shades of blue. You know, now I'm finally at a spot that's got some orange to it, but it's all like, I don't know, pretty much the same color, and it's kind of hard to make a distinction about the background, like, you know, where your enemies are and such. Like, I'm having a hard time seeing people from time to time. As a kid, I seem to remember this a little more fondly, and now playing it, I don't know, it's certainly not the worst LJN game, trust me. I mean, there's plenty other LJN games out there that, you know, will give you nightmares. Overall, I think this is fairly decent so far. I mean, it's playable. It reminds me a lot of NAMM 1975. It's not as graphically appealing, but I mean, come on, I'm comparing an NES to a Neo Geo, so I mean, what would I expect, you know? I don't know, many things can be found under something. I don't know, it didn't stay up there long enough for me to read it. The controls aren't too bad. I've never really particularly enjoyed rail shooters with a D-pad. I think that's just personal preference, though. I have a hard time. I don't know. My thumb starts to hurt, actually, to be entirely honest with you. The graphics in this level are a little bit better. It's a little bit easier to make a distinction. That first level is just really rough looking. And once again, the lack of music just kind of, alright, let's see. Extra lives are hidden in many places. Okay, finally. Good grief. I keep killing the sax player. I probably shouldn't do that. It also kind of reminds me of Operation Wolf now that I think about it. I like the way Operation Wolf looks a little bit better. Just because it's not all the same shade. At least there's some variation. But I would say that Operation Wolf is a lot more difficult than this game. Not that this game is easy or anything. It's just pretty tough. Operation Wolf is incredibly tough. Alright, finally up to the boss battle. Let's hope I can beat him. Oh my god. I was not expecting that. I really need a power up. Some health. I don't think I'm going to beat him. It's going to be over. Ah! Well, let me continue. Please let me continue. Come on. Continue. 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 Alright. Are you kidding me? All that? Well, at least the intro is cool. Alright. Final verdict. The game is pretty good, especially when you compare it to the other NES Marvel licenses that LJN did. This game's pretty fun. And the controls pretty okay if you're not as uncomfortable with rail shooters with a D-pad as I am. The game is not easy, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just might frustrate you a bit. The graphics are kind of fuzzy apparently in certain levels. The last two levels I played through the jigsaw stage weren't that bad, but that first level was really just kind of a mess of just blue. I don't know. Maybe the other stages are better. We'll see. Overall, I think it's a pretty good game, especially when we look against LJN. Some people might disagree with me, but that's my opinion. So I think The Punisher is definitely a game that you should all take a look at. Anyway, rate, comment, subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.